to a corporate office for any business and get a job that's not hourly minimum wage. You're like, what the hell are you talking about? So I have a college degree. I've taught in 2 countries. I speak roughly 3 languages. I can adapt and live in another country and move on with my day. I can conduct business in other countries. I can move money. But you're telling me because I'm black and I'm American and I have a college degree, I'm a threat. You perceive me to be a threat because I'm young, black, college, and educated. I can't find a job. I'm unemployable unless I'm in the bottom, working for nothing. But you want me to produce work that is easily equivalent of someone with a degree at the corporate level who doesn't have half the education I do, and you want them just to be there. But yet you want the best for me, but they can slide. Yeah, Black Lives Matter. You have to be twice as good to get half of what they got. Is the phrase I'm educating you with. Twice as good to get half. If you want to hear it on a TV show, watch Scandal. It's in season 2 and 3 and every other show. And it's dehumanizing. I used to love the show Scandal. And then it's like, wait. One of the most powerful black women in the world is chasing behind the president? Okay, granted, he's a nice looking guy, he's a president, he's white. Why am I devaluing myself as a black woman to sleep with this white guy? Now, had they just been 2 people out on the street, they dated and they were sleeping together, I wouldn't care. But you have all these black women, perception and mental enslavement, are watching television and they're in love with Carrie Fisher in the show. And they're in love with this white president. So now all these women are like, I gotta find me a white boy. I'm like, no, you really don't. No, I'm not gonna be a hypocrite and say don't. I've dated white women, I've dated black women, I've dated Japanese women, dated Filipino women. I've dated across the spectrum. I'm not gonna say it's okay for me and not okay for them. What I'm saying is that don't try to indoctrinate another standard or labeling of separation of culture. And people are going to look at me like, that makes no sense. It does, the Willie Lynch letter. Separate the darks from the light. Separate those who speak the same language and force them to be around those that they aren't comfortable with. Animosity, hatred, envy, greed, selfishness, loathing. That's the Willie Lynch letter. That's how mass media works. Now, let's talk about shoes. See these cheap things with a hole in them? I think you do. Yeah. I'm not buying a $300 pair of shoes. What the hell is wrong with you? Shoes get dirty. I could buy books, movies, music. I could put parts in my computer. Beautiful beast. I built it. I want to shout out to Thomas Huber for helping me learn how to build computers. And then all the other YouTube channels I watched in college. Deal is this. We have so much opportunity for humanity to be loved and successful across the board. Black people should not have to justify why we exist. We shouldn't have to explain what you learned growing up. We shouldn't have to I shouldn't have to walk into a place of business and be treated rudely and disrespectfully because, oh, he's black, he doesn't have any money. It happened to me. I walked into a game store in San Antonio. Granted, it's a game store. You're not expecting high levels of thinking or racial bigotry to exist in a comic book shop or a role-playing game store, especially in Texas. There's a model sitting behind a desk. Gentleman selling it. He doesn't have a price. I make him an offer. His racism was so thick in taking it back, I have $800 in my pocket. I got a bonus from teaching because we got a grant. And I pulled the money out because I was going to go buy this particular model. Business owner is so vile and evil, it's like, well, it's not for sale. But you got a for sale sign for it. So I'd say, you know what? You don't want to sell to me? Perfectly fine. It's yours. You own the shop. I'll leave. I go back a week later because I'm with friends and they're new to the town. They wanted to see it and they wanted to see the store. Walk back in. It's still there. Now it has a price of $700. I still have the money. He still refuses to sell it to me. It's his right as a business owner. But it's funny that he takes a $400 loss on said item because a young white boy walks in. Am I being racist? No, but I'm highlighting how rude and how ignorant racism is. I'm a business major. If I own a business, I want to make a profit. I don't want to take a loss. If I spend $800 or $1,000 and I want to sell it for $800 or $1,000, I want to make my damn money back. It's called profit. And profit doesn't care if you're white or you're black. It cares if you're buying. I'm not going to throw Michael Jordan under the bus. No, let me throw him under the bus real quick. He chose business over humanity, and so many black activists and celebrities have called him out on it. People have been murdered for his shoes for years. I remember kids getting in fights at my middle school, and this is a white neighborhood middle school at that. They're fighting over a pair of shoes. He stole my shoes out of my locker. Materialism is the root of all evil, attached to socioeconomic racism in America. I don't give a damn if you got $300 pair of shoes. If you drive a Maserati or a Benz, I admire those cars. They're not in my budget. They're beautiful machines, but at the same time, I cannot justify a house on four wheels. And I gotta change the oil, and I gotta get it inspected, and I even have to go out as far as cleaning up messes and somebody spills something in my car? Hell no. If you give me one, I'm not gonna drive that bastard. Materialism, perception, racism, envy, greed. These are why people don't understand Black Lives Matter. Let's take, for example, gunshots erupt in your neighborhood. Wherever you're living, gunshots break out. What's your justification for gunshots happening? Celebration, robbery, self-defense, murder, rape, theft? What? But what's funny is we say them when things are broken, stolen, or taken. We say they, them. Why? Because we don't know who did it. We can't identify them. And that's the other gaping hole for racism. I remember going to a dinner engagement in a nice ritzy area of New Orleans, and someone's car was broken into while they're at work. The first words out of his mouth, them N-words did it. I'm like, really? Where do you work? I work uptown in the St. Charles Garden District area. I'm like, do you know the percentage of minorities in that area is the low as dirt? Did you have valuables laying out in your car? Was your laptop in your driver's seat not secured? I didn't think about it like that. Yeah, thanks for offending me, jackass, dick. And that's why I laugh when bigots ask me to explain why Black Lives Matter. When friends and people that are intellectually astute that I respect ask me, I'm always down for the conversation. But my first time dealing with a bigot and a racist in New Orleans out in public by myself was not with the cop. It was with this random dude at Esplanade Mall. I can't stand black people. I want them to all go back to Africa. I looked at him like, you have a thick-ass accent. Where are you from? I'm from Europe. He didn't want to tell me his country, and I'm like, you need to get on a plane and leave. You're not from here. You weren't born here. And you're pissed off? For what? And I didn't continue the conversation. I didn't want to hear it anymore. It was just like, really? Really, really? So you have formulated in your small mind to make this vague statement this big, telling an entire ethnic group of a country you're not even from to go back to their origins. That boggles my mind that people think that. And I don't want to discuss Black Lives Matter every day. I want to discuss Japan Seems Real Nice. And the reason why I want to discuss Japan Seems Real Nice is that, one, I appreciate being treated as a human being. I really do. I enjoy Japanese customer service. I know I can walk into restaurants all over the city and be ignored for up to half an hour. I went to the west side of San Antonio on my way to an engagement with friends and walked into a Popeyes. It's run by Hispanics. It's a Hispanic neighborhood. I get that. But I'm not acknowledged. I'm not greeted. You don't even acknowledge the fact that I am a breathing human being in your place of business trying to get some food. You're pissed with me for bothering your day. Go home and get laid. And that's my mindset. In Japan, shimasen. The little dings go off at the doors. Hey, how you doing? Good afternoon, good morning. In bad English or great Japanese. I love it. Then it's I can be forgiven for not being fluent in the language. I can be forgiven for being ignorant of some customs and traditions. I can be forgiven or just blatantly ignored and left to exist. Yeah, blatantly ignored and not question of why I exist and why I'm there. They don't go out of their way to, you don't belong in Japan, you need to go home. Oh, I get that in certain parts of the city. Oh, you don't need to be here. Who is this big black bastard in my neighborhood? He's probably trying to rape women or steal something. I'm like, no. I got an invite to a party. There's the address. But I shouldn't have to justify myself. Yeah, me justify to you why I'm here. That's why Japan seems real nice. I remember walking into my first Shinto temple, and they're looking at me like, okay, got this black guy. And they offered me tea. They didn't have to offer me jack. They could have showed me the door, but that's not the Japanese mindset. I remember shopping for video games, and I can't read the titles, and one of the clerks comes up to me with an electronic dictionary, and he's showing me and explaining in his bad English and my bad Japanese how to translate Japanese video games titles to English so I can understand which games I'm looking at when they don't have artwork. I'm like, that makes so much sense. Communication, understanding, acceptance, being open-minded to new experiences. Black Lives Matter is not stating that, again, Black Lives Matter never said black lives were worth more than whites. They never said they're more than any other ethnic group in the United States or across the world. We want to stop being hunted, targeted, harassed, annoyed, and ostracized in our development of our cultures and lives. Period. If you don't like it, don't watch the video. Give me a thumbs down. Tell me I'm wrong and ignorant in the comments. Feel free to bleed till you're blue in the face of why I'm wrong. That's what I'm waiting on. Someone to sit down and tell me I'm wrong for the way I live and feel. Why I should be happy. Say, yes, master. You'll never hear those words out of my mouth. I'm not a slave. I'm free. V for Vendetta is one of the most powerful movies that I've seen in my life because, one, my mom was a storyteller, and I know she would have loved the movie because the one line that sticks to me from that movie is, in that 1 inch of dignity, we are free. Everyone. That's what I said at the beginning of the video, is that there are very few places where a human being can be completely honest with their existence. Birth, asleep, or in a shower. Why? I believe in God, and I believe God is in the rain. I believe God is in everything we do. He's consciously aware of the decisions and actions that we take. But at the same time, regardless of what you believe in, even if you don't believe in anything, acknowledge existence. Acknowledge that you woke up. Acknowledge that you may not see sunshine when you wake up. It might be raining. It might be a thunderstorm. It might be Alaska and it's 30 days a night. Whatever the case may be, acknowledge people. You don't have to say good morning. You don't have to say good evening. But I would appreciate a good morning, a good afternoon, a hello, a hey, how are you? Welcome. How can we help you? If humanity would take that moment to acknowledge one another that we exist, I think we would not only be so much better off, but we would also be able to say that we accomplished something good today, like that movie Pay It Forward. If I see a homeless person and I give them change, I feel guilty if they're destroying themselves. But if I hand them a job application, or I could find a homeless shelter that would help rehabilitate these people in our society and get them to be productive members, I would be happy. Those are my thoughts, trials, and tribulations. And the issue becomes, again, why do we have to waste all that time hating? Why are our businesses, like corporate entities that are global, so damn greedy? It's like, wait. So you're telling me that you donated $200,000 in scholarships to college kids. You donated money to a food bank, yet your profits exceeded 1,000% of what you donated. So you're telling me that you have a multi-billion-dollar industry and you hand out this measly $100,000 a year to justify your conscience. Get a grip. That's the same way I look at people in power trying to discredit when African American men's lives are taken. So you're telling me you have a city of 2 point whatever million people, yet it's okay for one cop to murder someone. So let's be evil again. Let's break it down in numbers. So if there's 9 billion people on the planet, we're not going to miss a drop in a bucket of 0.000897%, which is that one soul that died. And that justifies you tossing humanity out the window, putting on a uniform, and having a gun. No, it doesn't. Life is life. I'm not saying we need to go back to eye for an eye, tooth for tooth. That's barbaric in the concept of application in this modern environment. I'm saying that we need to have better systems of training in place. If European police train for 4 years at an academy, we don't need to have you on the streets in 12 weeks. You've been doing target practice and reading the minimum of constitutional law. You're not ready. That's my opinion on Blue Lives Matters. So I'm going to chalk this up. I'm going to a birthday party. I have a young man who I was blessed to have his mother as a student when I was teaching high school. He's going to be a happy baby boy. I forgot to get him a gift. Oops. But again, I'm making a conscious effort to reward him and be happy. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Good luck.